it's Kevin. Thanks for stopping by for another No BS social media report. I don't know what made me think about this week's update, if you will, or this week's topic. But, well, let me give you some background. I was in radio for nearly 30 years, and there were certain terms that we used in-house at a radio station to talk about some of the things we did. We didn't play commercials. We played spots. Anytime we'd go out and do a live broadcast from, say, a car dealership or a shopping mall or something like that, it was a remote. Now, if I were to say to you, hey, I've got a remote coming up this weekend. Do you want to go? Would you know what the word remote means? How many spots per hour are you running? Would you know what I was talking about? Those are insider terms, and those worked with radio. We have insider terms in the music business. We have insider terms in every business we're involved in. Doctors, lawyers, police officers, accountants, they all have industry-specific terms. So don't fall into a rut of using those terms when you're talking to your fans, followers, and friends on social media. And the reason I thought about this is in my personal timeline, I've got a lot of music business people, I've got a lot of radio and TV people, all my media friends. And I have a few of them who still talk about, hey, join me at this remote on Saturday. And I actually saw somebody say, what is a remote? They were going to be at some grocery store or something like that. I don't understand what a remote is. And then they had to explain, well, that's what we call a live broadcast where we do call-ins. And I laughed because when I was running radio stations, that was one of my big pet peeves. I wanted to make sure that we were talking on the level of the listener. I wanted to make sure we were talking in their language, in plain language, not using our speak, media speak, business speak, if you will. So make sure you think about that when you're posting things. Now, I realize some people know what a gig is. It's a performance, it's a concert, it's a show. But why do you have to use, hey, you're going to come see me at my gig this weekend? I'll be gigging this weekend. I've got a performance, I've got a show, I've got a concert. To me, there are better words and more descriptive words because you don't want to leave anything to question. They may not know what a gig is. I guess you gig frogs. You gig the music business too. But think about the way your listeners, the way your viewers, the way your fans, followers, friends in social media use social media. And think about the terms you use and are they common knowledge? Something to think, it's silly. I know it doesn't matter. But again, it could be the difference in connecting or converting one of those fans, followers, and friends into something more if you're speaking their language. Think like an amateur. Think like somebody who's not in your business, in your line of work, and say, would they understand what this means? You see on TV all the time, on all the TV drama shows, whether it was the old TV show Emergency or whether it's SVU, they use perp all the time on SVU. And I think perp is for a perpetrator, but really it's a person who's accused of doing a crime. So you would rather say, hey, that person was accused rather than saying, check out the perp. If you're talking to another cop, it's one thing. But again, when you're talking to just the general public, when you're talking to your fans, your followers, and your friends, think like they think. Speak like they speak. Talk to them in a way they will understand. So there will be less questions. So it'll be easier for you. And you won't be talking over your head. Because sometimes you may say something, and if they don't know what you're talking about, they're too embarrassed to ask. They're too embarrassed to be that person that asks, what is a remote in the timeline on the Facebook page? They just ignore it and move on and don't ask. And you may have lost them for that performance, for that gig, for that show, concert, or even live broadcast. I know it's silly and it shouldn't matter that much, but sometimes it's those little details that mean all the difference in the world. Think like an amateur. Think like your fans, your followers, and your friends who may not know the jargon of your business. Back next week, another No BS social media report, video, chat, whatever we call these things. No BS Social is our website. You can, of course, watch them on YouTube as well. No BS Social is our YouTube username there. And again, if you want to contact me, want to reach out to me, whether it's by phone, whether it's by email, or just check out our website. Right here at the end of the video, we have all that information coming up in pretty little picture form. You can slow it down, catch it, read it, write it down, and would love to chat with you more. Thanks so much. See you next week.